Have you seen this before? I'm sure you've seen this bottle before, whether it be in this frosted glass bottle or in the new revised clear glass bottle with the blue tint. You've probably seen this. And you've also probably seen the original Invictus bottle as well, 1 or 2 times in your life, probably just a couple. Yeah, of course, who am I kidding? Invictus and Invictus Aqua are very, very popular fragrances, and Invictus Aqua seemed to be at one point one of the most hyped, one of the most talked about trending summer fragrances. I mean, this one basically just blew up and took off until they discontinued it. And then it was like it disappeared. There was no talk about it anymore because no one could get it anymore, and people didn't want to pay $200 on eBay, except for me and probably a few other people as well. Yeah, it was kind of expensive. So naturally, as soon as other companies saw the wild success that Paco Rabanne had with their Invictus Aqua, they decided to take their own hit at it. And today we're going to be ranking all of the Invictus Aqua style fragrances that I have in my collection. I'm going to rank them from 1 to 10, 1 being the best and 10 being not the best. This is not by any means all of the Invictus Aqua fragrances on the market, because I probably am missing a couple of them, but I do have a pretty good lump sum of them here. So, this will give you a pretty good idea, a pretty good list if you want to grab some alternatives for yourself. I mean, you're going to have plenty to choose from here. All right, I hope you're excited as I am. Let's go ahead and jump into it. First up, we have First Instinct Together by Abercrombie & Fitch, the newest addition to the First Instinct line of fragrances. Now, this one is at number 10. I think out of my collection, what I have here, Invictus Aqua style scents, this is my least favorite. Apple, pineapple, and lavender are some of the main notes in this one, so you'll find that there's going to be kind of a similarity between all of the notes here in the fragrances. This one introducing stuff like pineapple, but lavender is going to be a note that you're going to see reoccurring in basically all of these. So that's kind of what you get here from this one. It is sweet, it is bubblegummy, it is Invictus/Invictus Aqua smelling. I just find it to not be executed in quite the same way as Invictus Aqua 2016, 2018, and just some of the other alternatives that I personally own. And also, I really don't like what Abercrombie & Fitch has done to the First Instinct line. I mean, First Instinct Eau de Toilette and the Extreme are by far the 2 best fragrances in that line, and in my opinion, a couple of the best fragrances from the entire brand as of today. I mean, of course, Fierce is still up there, being very popular, but First Instinct, I mean, to me, that smells amazing, and it is something a bit playful and different for summertime. Anything past Extreme and the original has just been going downhill. It's been getting boring, and honestly, I'm not looking forward to see what they're going to come out after this. I just don't think Together is really that good of a alternative when you can go explore some of the others in this video that can be in the same price that are just better, in my opinion. So that's where this one comes in at the bottom of the list. And actually, that comes in at number 9 because there's only 9 fragrances here in this video. So bear with me. At number 9, at the bottom of the list, First Instinct Together. Okay, next up we have one from Davidoff, and spoiler alert, we actually have 2 Davidoff fragrances in this video, but I'm going to go over this one first at the bottom here at the video. At number 8, I guess, this is Davidoff Run Wild. So I do own a bottle of this one, but it is currently packed up inside, so I just didn't want to dig through all of my boxes of stuff to get it out. So just take my word for it. I do have Davidoff Run Wild. I've done videos on it before, and from those videos you would have learned that I don't really like it that much. Ginger, fir, and lavender are going to be some of the main notes. So again, you do get some wild cards here in this one, like the fir, the fir resin, kind of giving you a bit of a piney nuance to some extent, although not a really high quality pine needle smell. It's not like something Bottega Veneta Pour Homme, the Intense or Extreme or whatever in the original. Those have a really nice pine tree type of smell. Run Wild isn't going to get you to that point, but they are trying to change it up and throw in some different notes and accords in there. Ultimately, at the end of the day, when you look at it face value, it is an Invictus type of fragrance, Invictus/Invictus Aqua. Some of these ride the line, but they all are pretty close to either of them, in my opinion. This one coming in, again, at the bottom of the video here, at number 8. It's just not really my favorite. I find quality lacks. I find the execution lacks a little bit. Well, some people do like it, and I'm not saying it smells bad. I'm just saying compared to all of the others we were going to go over here today, it just doesn't stack up for me personally. Moving on to number 7, we have Loam Cologne Blue by Yves Saint Laurent. Yes, even the mighty Yves Saint Laurent brand had to get in on the Invictus Aqua type of smell. Now this one has sea notes, lavender, and apple as some of the main notes. So again, no surprise here. Very similar note breakdown to everything else. And it does have that sweet, bubblegummy, salty Invictus Aqua type of smell. No other way to put it here. It does have a bit of its own thing going on, a little bit. And to some extent, all of these fragrances do. I don't really think there's any complete one-to-one clone. There's always going to be differentiations, whether it be on purpose or on accident as well. So don't think you're getting a one-to-one with anything here. It has its quirks, it has its differences, but it also still smells really good. It is an Yves Saint Laurent fragrance, so the quality is top-notch. I mean, there's nothing cheap about it, nothing synthetic like you may get from some of the other alternatives in this list, which are cheaper. And that's one thing that is nice about Yves Saint Laurent, is you can pretty much always expect a top-notch quality scent. However, on the other end of the spectrum comes the higher price that an Yves Saint Laurent fragrance begs. And yes, this one is going to be a bit more expensive. Now, because this is a less desirable, not as hyped up, quite frankly, not as cared about scent as something like La Nuit de Loam, even the original Loam, and I don't know, a few of the other flankers from the Loam line, this one does tend, I believe, to fall a bit cheaper on discounters. Still not a cheapie by any means, and in fact it is still probably more expensive than the original Invictus Aqua, but you know, that is just kind of where this one falls at in terms of pricing. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to Invictus Aqua, this is not it. But if you want something from Yves Saint Laurent, so you have that nice YSL quality, you have something with just a bit of a different twist, this one's for you. And sure, I think it does do it better than some of the others here in this video, but it's still not at the top either. It just fits above Run Wild and Together, which quite frankly, again, I'm just not a fan of. Alrighty, moving on to number 6. This one is Dunhill Icon Racing. Grapefruit, orange blossom, and lavender are some of the main notes. So this one has been out for a little while as well. I remember being very much interested in this when it was first released, but I never got around to it. At that time, the channel was pretty small, didn't have a whole lot of money, so I just didn't buy it right off the bat. I couldn't really justify it at retail, and just kind of got lost in the shuffle. Eventually, I was just like, okay, yep, don't care about it anymore. Recently, I ended up picking it up just because I did want to check it out, and I am going to do a buying guide video on this line at some point, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, this is, you know, that Invictus Aqua, Invictus-y, bubblegummy type of thing to an extent, again, with its own twist. You'll find that there's very much a soapy clean type of quality out of this one, which smells fantastic. And, you know, for me, Dunhill Icon, the original, is one of my favorites. It smells great. And I do find that this one has a bit of its own unique thing going on as well here. And it does have, you know, that summertime, playful, youthful, younger guy type of smell, which is going to be synonymous with all of the fragrances in this video. Now, at the end of the day, I think that's one of the main reasons why Invictus Aqua is so successful, is that it is fun and playful. Look, if you're a guy who is older and more mature, you're probably not going to be going crazy over this line. But if you're someone my age, if you're high school, college, early, mid, upper 20s, stuff like this is something that you're really going to like because it does give you that playful, fun type of vibe. With that being said, I think Dunhill Icon Racing is a really nice alternative and a bit of a different twist as well. Great scent here, and by the way, the bottle is very hefty, very heavy. I would love to drop it, but there is glass on the bottom. I don't want to make a mess, but you know, it would be fun to kind of see what this can handle. You know, do like a torture test. Just drop it right on its noggin and see what happens. I don't know, maybe I'll do that someday. Maybe? I don't know. Moving on to number 5, we have Aqua Dejo Absolute by Armani. Sea notes, woody notes, amberwood, and bergamot are going to be some of the main notes here in this one. Now, this is an interesting one because you do get that vibe and that feeling, and somewhat reminded of that Invictus Aqua type of smell here from this one. However, you also get a bit more of a woody depth, a bit more of that Alberto Marias, Aqua Dejo type of smell in here, and it's just a nice little mixture, but it is still very much leaning a sweeter, summertime, sexy fragrance, fun and playful, like Invictus Aqua. Alberto Marias does do it the best, or at least very, very good when it comes to aquatics, and I mean, he's demonstrated that time and time again. Everything from the original to Profumo to the newest Profondo. Profondo Lights is still pretty good. Absolute is great. I mean, he just does it well. He's able to take a DNA that is very popular and still put a twist on it. And to an extent, that's what we have here. Sure, it is kind of taking a shot, in my opinion, at Invictus Aqua. Not a shot in a bad way, like, ooh, shots fired. Taking an attempt at that Invictus Aqua playful type of smell, but again with its own twist, and because it has that own twist, it ranks higher up in this video. I think it is a nice little alternative while giving you something different, maybe not as boring. At number 4, we have Davidoff Cool Water Wave. C notes, grapefruit, and juniper are some of the main notes. So I discovered this one, and when I smelled it, I was very pleasantly surprised. And it's making it at number 4. I mean, this is $20 to $25 on discounters, and it's beating out some heavy hitters in here, which cost twice as much, or a little bit over twice as much. So there's a good reason for that. This really does have that Invictus Aqua smell down really good, and it impressed me. You know, Davidoff, they don't make bad fragrances, but they are cheaper, like this one, like Cool Water, like basically all of them. But you do get something that very much gives you that Invictus Aqua type of smell. And when it comes down to it, if you're after an affordable alternative, you can go for this one. It's going to be one of your best bets here in terms of affordability. We're going to cover a couple more as well, or another one, but right here, probably going to be maybe the cheapest out of everything. At number 3, we have a fragrance from Parfums Vintage. Yes, it's been a while since they've been on the channel, and this one is Aqua 2016 Intense. Grapefruit, pink pepper, yuzu, and ambroxan are going to be some of the main notes. So again, I have a bottle. I've got, I think, 2 bottles, the original Aqua 2016 and also the Intense. Normally they do that where they release an original and then an Intense. Again, both of those are packed up. Just couldn't really dig through them in time for this video, so you're just going to have to take my word for it and search across my channel. There's bugs over here in this corner making some noise, but yeah, just search my channel. I've talked about Aqua 2016 Intense in the original before. Great alternatives. I would say if you want something that's going to be as close to the original as possible, Aqua 2016 is probably going to be the way to go. Yes, it is more expensive. Yes, it is from Parfums Vintage, and people do have it out against Parfums Vintage. But at the end of the day, it's going to get you as close as possible. Like I talked about in the beginning of the video, none of these are really one-to-ones, especially from the other designer brands, because, you know, if they created an original one-to-one as close as possible without any sort of variation, they're going to get flamed. So they kind of steered away from that, or they just weren't able to do it. Parfums Vintage, that's kind of what they specialize in. They are specifically around to clone these particular fragrances, whether it be different types of Invictus batches, other discontinued fragrances, and obviously here, 2016 Invictus Aqua. So that one's going to get you as close as possible, but with that price tag. I mean, you're going to be paying more than Invictus Aqua at discounters now, but not as much as 2016 Invictus Aqua on eBay. So take your pick. At number 2, we have Legend Spirit by Mont Blanc. This one has watery notes, grapefruit, and lavender as some of the main notes. So this one comes in at around, I want to say $30, $35 or so, something around that mark. And this will be probably, probably about your second most affordable option after Cool Water Wave. And this is a really good scent. It's got the lavender, it's got the citrus, it's got the ambroxan. Very standard here. I probably don't even need to read that note break off anymore, but I just will give you a few of them there anyway. This was one of the first Invictus Aqua alternatives that I ended up getting, and even now, it's still one of the best in my collection. One way I've described this one is it's got that sharp Invictus Aqua smell, but it also has a bit of a clean lavender, clean linens type of undertone. a bit more so than the original Invictus Aqua has. There's just a clean freshness underneath here, like a clean white t-shirt that you just pulled out of the dryer on a warm summer day. That type of smell. But it still very much has that Invictus Aqua playful DNA in here. Great, great fragrance, especially for the price. Great stuff. And what could my number one alternative be? This is going to be Havas by Rasasi. C notes, ambroxan, plum, bergamot, I believe grapefruit as well, although I could be wrong. Doesn't really matter though. Point is, this one is by far, in my opinion, in my collection, the best Invictus Aqua alternative that I have. And interesting, this came out in 2015. Invictus Aqua 2016 came out in 2016. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Could be possible that, you know, something happened. I don't know what, but something for sure did happen. So that's definitely possible. Yeah, I really don't know what happened. But what I do know is that this smells gorgeous. It's so juicy, it's so vibrant. You get that plum in here, and that kind of gives it a bit of a different character compared to everything else, including the original Invictus Aqua. It's vibrant, it's juicy, it's sweet, it is summertime, all bundled up here in this bottle. Very playful, very sexy, great, great compliment getter. And for summer, this is top-notch, bar none. You need Havas in your collection. I waited a long time, and you guys probably, if you stick around on the channel and watch every video that I put out, which you should watch every video that I put out. Make sure you get subscribed and like the videos. It helps me out. I did a video review on this from Decant X. They sent it out to me from a sample, and I just, did my review on it. I'm like, wow, I really like this, guys. I'm going to get a bottle of it. And I did. I bought my own bottle of it, and here we are. Yeah, it is that good. Great, great stuff here for summer, and a great alternative to 2016 Invictus Aqua. Great performance, everything about it, thumbs up. So guys, that's going to do it for me. That was my breakdown on all of the Invictus Aqua style fragrances in my collection, and I just put them in order of my favorites to me. I will link all of these down below to Discounter, so if you want to check any of them out, you could do so there. They'll take you straight there to places like FragranceNet, FragranceX, so that way you can save some money off of retail. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.